Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. This is part 2 of Capgemini pseudocode discussion. Part 1 has already been uploaded on my channel. In this video, I will be discussing around 4 to 5 pseudocodes. So guys, make sure that you watch this video till the end so that you can get to know the level of the questions which are getting asked. Guys, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe it and please join my Telegram group also. The link is given in the description box. I post regular updates on the different companies which are hiring. So guys, make sure that you are present in the group and you do not miss any updates. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Okay, so the first question is, what is the output of this program? So in this function, we are given a num variable which is equivalent to 8, and now we have to print two values. One is this value, that is num left shift 1 and num right shift by 1. So what will be the values which will be printed after performing these shift operations? So see, when we will be, shift operations are performed in a binary method. So when we will write the binary of 8, it will be like 1 0 0. So this is the binary of 8, that is, one more 0 it will be there. So okay, so this is the binary of 8. Now when we will be doing num left shift by 1, then what will happen? This one will get shifted towards the left by one position. So what will happen? An extra 0 will be added. So what is this now? So this is now 16. So this is now 16. So the first value that will be printed will be 16. So let's just write here, the first value that will be printed will be 16. Now our original number was, our original number was 8, and now we are performing num right shift by 1. So this value will be shifted by one position. So this one will be moved forward to right by one position. So this one actually will come here. So this one will be here. So now what is the value of this particular binary method? So this is 4. So the answer will be, for the second function, will be 4. That is, when this 8 is shifted towards the left by one position, the answer will be 16, and when this 8 is shifted towards the right by one position, then the answer will be 4. So actual output here will be 16 and 4. Okay, so the next question is, this question is given, and here we have declared an array which is of 10 size, that is x is equal to 10. Now we have initialized all these values, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 10 values in this array, and the size of the array is also 10. So now what we have to print? We have to simply print the size of x. So what is this? What will be the size of x? See, the size of x here will represent the size of an array, that will be 4. Oh, sorry. And it is an integer array, so every integer takes 4 bytes, and there are 10 integers which are allocated the memory. So total memory that will be allocated to x will be 4 into 10, that is 40. So this is the final answer of this question, that is, the size of x will be 40. So now we will be looking at the next question. Okay, so the next question is, we are given in this function, that is x is equivalent to 2. Now we have to perform this ternary operation, that is, if this particular expression gives us true, then this value will be printed, and if this expression gives us false, then this value will be printed. So let's just first evaluate this particular expression, that is x and 1. So let's see x in binary form, how it is written. So x in the binary form is written as 1 and 0. So you can see that 0, this is how an x that has a value 2 is written in the binary form. So now this particular x has been performed an AND operation with 1. So AND operation with 1 means first value is 0 and last value will be 1. So this is the value of x and this is the value of 1. So see, what will be the output when these two values will be given the AND operation? So 0 and 1, we know that 0 and 1 will result in 0, and again in this case also 0 and 1 will result in 0. So here the overall answer will be 0 when this binary is converted into decimal. So this entire expression will give us 0. Now 0 is false, so it means that the second value will be printed, that is printf false. So here the final answer will be, the value that will be printed will be false only. So the final value will be false. Okay, so I hope you understood this question. Now the next question is this, that is, we are given a main method. In this, let me just put spaces so that the things can be clear. Okay, now first of all, in the main function we are given two variables, I is equivalent to 5 and j is equivalent to 4. So I is equivalent to 5 and I is equivalent to 5 and j is equivalent to 4. Now we will check that whether this if condition results in true or not. So see, so if, then the not operation, and then the printf statement. So print is printing the empty string. So here if we will be evaluating the expression printf empty string, so it means that empty string will be printed. Now see, what is the boolean value corresponding to the empty string? It is false. So the boolean value corresponding to this particular empty string is false. Okay, now the not of false, that is false, and then in front of it is written not. So not of false means true. So if true, so it means that this particular condition will run because the entire expression has changed to true. So when this condition is true, then this statement will run. So what we will be printing? We will be printing the values of I and j. So currently the value of I and j are 5 and 4 only. So these are our final output. So if this condition is true, then this thing will be printed. Else if this condition is false, then this thing will be printed. But in this case, this condition is true. It yields the true result, and therefore this particular things will be printed, that is the I and j value. So I is equivalent to 5 and I is equivalent to 4. So these are the final output of this particular question. Now the last question of this video is, see, we are given a main method. In this we are evaluating a switch case. That is, a switch case is, in switch case we are passing 2 divided by 3. See, when an integer is divided by integer, the result is integer only. So here it is written switch 2 by 3. So we can replace 2 by 3 is, when we will be evaluating 2 divided by 3, then it will simply give us 0. So when 2 divided by 3 gives us 0, so here 0 has been passed in this switch statement. Now we will compare the cases. Now case 1, so here it is 0, so it cannot be case 1. Now again second is case 2. Again here it is 0, so it cannot be case 2. It can only be case 0. But you can see that inside this entire switch statement there is no case 0. So when this is the thing, that is when there is no case which is fulfilling, then the default case is run. So the default case will be running, and the answer will be, in default it is printing default block executed. So the final output of this code will be default block executed. So this will be our you can say final output of this question, that is default block executed. So guys, this was it for this video. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching it, and guys, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and like this video.